around you and how are they behaving? Because you absorb all that. There's always this question that leaders are born. I don't think so. I think that they're not born. Everybody is born with the potential to be a leader, regardless of whether you are a girl child or you are a boy child. Everybody is born equal and with the equal potential. You're born with the potential, but that potential has to be nurtured. Even when you do become a leader, because especially with women, there will always be people trying to pull you down. Whether it's men or it's women, there will always be resentment, envy, and it will not be obvious, it's subtle. Okay. But you have to be strong enough to recognize it. The way you carry yourself, even as a girl child, the things you do, people watch you. When I was young, you don't just become a monitor in a class. The head teacher does not say you are a monitor, or you don't just become a captain or of a foot or netball, whatever, or you don't just become the leader of the debating team. You are chosen. People watch you and they see what you're doing. So there is that working hard. There is that focusing in terms of what it is that you want to become. Even when you're a child, you watch TV. Who do you see? What programs are you watching on TV? What are you watching? What are you reading? Who is around you? And how are they behaving? Because you absorb all that.
So you can imagine the how passionate she was on
about
making
education.
sure, yes, that she was able to pass on that teaching as well, and that emphasis on education to her children and even just those around her. Then my father as well, with his background and the emphasis that his father had where education was concerned, made sure, and he would always preach to us, that where you can, help one another.
Yes.
Don't just think of uplifting yourself. It's a question of uplifting even those around you, because you are the one as well who gets to see the benefit of it, it all. And that I've carried with me even into my life today, because it's not just about me being successful.
Yes.
It's about us.
Yes.
Us as a city team, us as an entire family, etc. So yeah, that's what education can do for you.
One of the things that I always say, when you're given an opportunity, give it 110%. If you're going to fall short at 10%, you're going to land at 100%. Give it 110%. That's what I've done all my life, is giving it 110%. Because, in fact, just this, was it yesterday I was talking about, I shared a video with the Coopers girls. I said, always remember that whatever you do, whether good or bad, there's always someone watching.
Yes.
And that's what happened. What happened to me in my life, because it is out of working at Image Promotions that I got my first job in the banking sector. Because African Banking Corporation, when they came into Zambia,
yes,
they were one of our clients, because we're into event management. So they said, well, wait a minute, she seems to be on top of the game. Are you able to cross over into the banking sector? So that's how I moved into.
So not because of accounting, because of your skill.
It was because of my skill, yes. It was. I think accounting came at the bottom, but it was the way I was able to handle the client, and because it was going to be, the role was client liaison officer in investment services. That's how I switched to the banking sector. We all hit left, right, and center. And I remember you just saying that we all have issues.
Yes.
But how do you deal with those issues? That's what's important. And if we're going to survive as women, if we're going to be given leadership positions as women, we need to develop what I call, and I tell you this to the Coopers girls, that you have to start developing mental strength. I try and shy away from mental health. I say mental strength.
Yes.
Because it is in those moments when everything seems like it's falling apart, it's in those moments then that your character is going to be tested.
That's right.
And when I look back, I just say, no, this is what I want. And for women, we need to get to a place, and it is okay. You're not going to be looked at in a particular way, but just be confident in who you are and say, this is what I am capable of doing, and I'll bring I've got the right skills. I'm capable of it, and can I sit at the table as well if I have to sit at the table? So it's a belief and the confidence that we should have in ourselves as women.
So for me, yes, going back 21 years ago, that decision that I made, yes, it would probably be because of my upbringing. We were allowed to voice our thoughts, and our opinions were also heard. We were also taught that it is not a problem to fail. Failure is simply a lesson in life for you to simply get up and continue moving on and to ask the questions. Okay. Because that curiosity mind helps one in terms of development, and also shows how interested one is in what they are doing.
Yes.
But going back to this girl child that I'm speaking to right now, you now have so many examples of it's been done, it can be done, and it will continue being done.
Yes.
Therefore, it cannot stop here. Right? There are so many platforms these days. There are so many tools out there for one to be able to succeed.
And then also that then it made me realize that people are just people. Okay. And being given an opportunity to interact with people at my level at that time got me to think being able to accept what I term now is diversity in people. Okay. And from then I think I realized, even when I went to become even captain of our national team, is that people come from different backgrounds, diverse characters, different personalities, and as a leader being able to understand that people are different. And if you're going to succeed in any leadership role, which is something that I've learned over the years now, is that you have to understand diversity. Good. People will not be the same way you are, and there was a time when I thought everybody has to be the way I am. Mm-hmm. But for you to succeed, they're all going to be different. And with that difference will come different characters. And with their characters, they're going to bring different things to the tables. And if you're able to understand that as a leader, and I think that's what helped me.
It's kind of like good to be impatient, because then you're giving yourself even specific timelines of I should have at least done this by this age, etc.
There should be an urgency for you to grow.
Exactly, and it's a roadmap for you. But like with any roadmap, at times things may not move as fast as you want them to. Therefore, it's like having a speed hump to slow you down on your journey. That speed hump is probably telling you, hang on, take stock, be caution here. Maybe you didn't drive too carefully where you came from, where you're going, pay attention to ABCD. But the point is, use those signals to take account and to just analyze yourself, as opposed to simply looking ahead and going right over those speed humps, and you may just find that where you end up is not even as glorious as you thought it would be.
Good evening, everybody. Welcome. I'm sure you've been wondering what's going on. Are they here? Yes, we're here. We just wanted to have your appetite watered before we came on. Good evening. Welcome to Life and Leadership Lessons Learned from Zambia's Leading Ladies. And we're reviewing what we did on Scars the Stars. My name is Orisha Joomi, and I'm very privileged to be here with you. And I have some wonderful women that are going to be talking to us. We have the boss herself, Kasongo, today. the producer of Scars the Stars, and this is her show. I'm just supporting her. And today, you really like that, don't you? It's your time. And we have today somebody that is always listening to your Scars the Stars. We know she has a lot to do. She is, what's she in CBC? What's her big position? She sits in a big office, big position.
She does awesome stuff.
Awesome stuff. Handles all the arrangements and all the things.
Responsible for our set.
Responsible for the set. Very red. I like blue, but red. No problem. So we have Clara. Clara, thank you for joining us today.
Thank you so much for having me.
Awesome to have you here. Thank you.
So much.
How did you find Scars the Stars? I'm going to hand over to Kasondo now. So let me do boss a bit. I don't like boss. Let me do presenter a bit, you know.
Exactly.
How did you find Scars the Stars?
Oh, Scars to Stars has been so amazing. It's
Yeah.
been restorative, it's been healing, it's been challenging,
Okay.
it's been inspiring. Yeah, it's all that.
What did you like the most? What lesson did you pick the most? What do you think struck you the most watching those awesome women?
What struck me the most was some of the women that are single mothers in there.
Mm-hmm.
That struck me the most.
Okay, what
also-
about that? Tell me.
It doesn't end there. You
Doesn't
can actually
end
do
there.
more.
Beautiful.
You can do much.
Beautiful.
You know, and also those that have been through the doldrums, if you like, those that have been like downtrodden, literally, and
Yeah.
have risen despite the odds.
Yeah.
They've gone beyond limits. That just blew my mind.
I'm thinking of women like Florence.
Exactly.
Been through superwoman, Florence
Exactly.
Ngoza.
And she's still
And
went
she's
ahead
always
to
watching
just-
as well.
She's always, I hope
you
she's
know?
watching today.
Yeah, so those I think struck me most. But all of them were unique in their own way. They
Yeah.
went through their unique challenges
Absolutely.
and just
Absolutely.
came through. And today we're celebrating them, and
Yeah.
they're an inspiration.
Yeah,
Yeah.
absolutely.
Yeah.
Why don't you bring Clara every day? She's just
She's-
an inspiration. Super.
He's always making fun of everybody on
I
the
know,
set,
right?
so
I know, right?
it's high time we did a revenge.
Soon.
But anyway,
Vengeance is God's.
oh,
Leave
there
vengeance
goes
to
his
God.
purpose coming out.
Hallelujah. Just leave God to revenge. Love your enemies, so love me.
Oh, Jesus.
Hallelujah. So I'm handing over to you.
So today,
Who are we
I
talking
just
about today?
realized, first and foremost, I just realized that Pastor and I are almost wearing the same color. We must have been in the same spirit today.
I know, right?
Inject it in the name of Jesus. Holy Ghost fire.
I think the viewers can tell today.
That
We're sort
what?
of like in the same spirit.
Wanna
Just-
please.
Let us know in the comment section if you think Pastor and I are in the same
Musonda,
spirit
talk to your
today.
sister, please. Thank you. Na papa.
But we do have a great a panel of women that we're going to be talking about whose lessons we picked up, and it's just really great because their level of intellect, even as we were reviewing and watching this, blew me away. The experience is just massive. Great experience. They spoke very courageously. They were unafraid and lovely. We are going to be learning.
Today
of
was
picking
lots of intellectuals.
a
today.
lot of
Those
intellectual.
people, yo, they know book.
Yeah.
They have sense.
They really went to the book, and something that they all emphasized was education.
Education.
And it keeps coming up each and every time on this particular show. I know. I want to take it back a little bit. I think some of my friends and I were laughing, and it's a notion in my age today that young people say, "I'm a hustler. I don't need education. I'm a hustler." But the thing is,
They will be broke.
and this is the thing. Because they say, oh, if Zuckerberg dropped out of school, he didn't go to school. But guess what? They are going to hire somebody who went to university, not somebody who doesn't know their craft.
Exactly.
And we have come to learn the importance of education. Because even if we didn't know how to speak the language we speak today, we wouldn't be seated here today
That's
if
right.
it wasn't for education. So it has an important part to play.
Apart from that, you have to understand the term entrepreneurship. Hustler, which is like a slang for entrepreneur. But entrepreneurship is not just that you're trying to do something. There is something. They started something, they're seeing it to the end. So we encourage entrepreneurship, but please understand it before you don't go to school. Lest you be broke.
You hustle the paper.
Yeah. I like that, you hustle the paper. So for today, we are talking about women who actually hustle the paper.
Exactly.
We are going to be reviewing or learning, picking up lessons
Please
from...
define hustle the paper. I'm old school. I don't know what it means.
Okay, I think I'll let you do that.
Okay, you can do your hustle, but with the paper. There's some doors that your hustle won't open, but the paper would.
Oh, that's cool.
And having it both is an added advantage. Whichever way you go, either one of them can go.
Okay.
And having them together is like two wheels on something that's moving.
Fantastic. So
Hustle the paper.
hustle the paper.
We're going to put your name there.
Oh, come on.
Yeah, so we are going to be picking up lessons from Lowani Chibesakunda, great woman,
Yeah.
CEO Citibank, very beautiful bank by the way, love the office. When I got there I was like dreaming. I almost had to snap out of it. We also have Norena Mutoya Chiteva, who is the founder of Cooper's.
Lady
Norena. I was going to get there. Give the full names, then I should say it right. Lady Norena, who is the founder of Cooper's Young Women's Network. And we also have, last but not the least, we have Connie Osborne, beautiful woman, very interactive. I love that
fantastic
conversation
woman.
because she's very relatable. She has this aura about her that just wants you to keep talking to her. She's a
Fantastic
beautiful
woman.
And those are the lessons that we're going to be picking up today. We did show the videos before we began so that you can just get into the mood and know what we're talking about. But before I continue and take the spotlight, what was your highlight from all these women, even as you were watching?
Wow. They are full of quotes, amazingly. And I've written them down. They need to come out like on posters, literally. What was most highlighting is they all mentioned persistence. That alone just stood out for me. They all mentioned hard work. They all mentioned, never giving up. That stood out for me because and they're very different in how they grew up. They're very different in how everything about what they do is. But the key things that are just common among them all, and that's persistence, that's focus, that's tenacity and courage, and they just sum up who they are today.
Yeah.
So that for me just stood out.
And that's something I also noticed. Persistence is something that came out from all of them.
Exactly.
I don't know for you, Pastor, what was your highlight from all the videos that you watched?
Today?
For the people that we are, I know you have a lot, but from these that we were.
But for the three we're talking today, I don't know, each is unique and each is just a fabulous leader, fantastic woman. Do I have to go into them now? One by one? I can?
You can.
Well, with Loani, I thought her loyalty to our organization spoke a lot.
Yeah.
21 years,
That's a long time.
committed,
I don't think I
dedicated.
would stay at home. That's something I have to learn from her.
That's
21
why
years.
you're not Citibank MD. You like the office, but you don't want to stay there long enough. So her ability to, okay, I'm just playing back the interview in my head.
Yes.
And the key things I got from her story is she enjoyed work.
Yeah.
And she gave it everything. I think that's, so there's so many highlights if you ask me. Her family, her father's influence, her mother's influence, the lessons her father taught her about failure, about this and that, her experience and her feelings, her love for education, her wanting to go. So you can go on and on. Dr. Osborne was amazing. Her spirit, I think that's one of the best things about her spirit,
Yes.
you know. Going back to Loani, you heard her talking about help others. She has that heart. You see the thing they do in their office where they have this women group where they help themselves
And the
and the men.
open door policy.
Yeah, the open door policy.
Yeah.
Oh, you see the echoes. You know. So yeah, so rich. Then you see, I think the thing that blew me, that I feel it's a huge message for Dr. Osborne is, don't rush.
Yes.
Delay gratification. Focus on developing yourself. Leave all the play for now. It will come. And how she's so relational.
Yes.
She serves people. She builds relationships. She was somebody that gave, I think she was one of the first people to give us the names of everybody.
She
That
remembers.
had
That is
everybody.
so great.
That was so beautiful.
Yes.
She's such a relational person, but she knows her onions, you know, and her work.
I like that she knows her onions.
But she knows her onions. That's old school talk, you know, not hustle the paper.
We see that.
So that's my
we see
side.
that. We
Onion.
So you find that, an old school, I'm a young man, please. So just that I mix with old people.
Oh.
You see that she's saying to you, I know my work, my research, my work took me to international level. I didn't get there because I'm a woman. I think these women tell you that. You are not there because you're a woman, you are there because of your work, and people respect your work.
Exactly.
That for me, without taking your whole evening, those. And of course, when you come to the lady herself, Lady Norena, touching over 1,600 girls, transforming their lives, that's huge.
It is.
Yeah.
And you see the impact of a role model. Her father was a sports person. She coming into sport, what sport gave to her, being the first woman. I love where she said that, I told them what I want. If I'm not going to be the president,
Nothing else.
super. And the values, I think one comes out for me for Norena is her values.
Yeah.
She lives her values. And she told you, I read this, but accountancy not for me. I discovered who I was and I pursued it. And the mentors that I thought that was really beautiful. And how she went on to perform, using media and saying, I don't want them to know me as this old television face. I need to reinvent myself, create my own narrative. I thought that was brilliant. And she's doing it.
Yes.
And today, globally or continentally at least, I know that, even globally because she's known for her work, but that speaks. And these three women today are super.
Yes,
really
yes.
super.
Another thing that I picked up from all three women is the influence that their fathers actually had on them.
Yeah.
I remember Dr. Osborne was speaking about how whenever she had
She
to take
was
a
tough
step,
with her
she
dad.
was tough with her dad.
If you want me to go to school,
buy me a wig. Give me a shoulder bag. And
you know,
his father,
she has to go to school too. If I'm going to school,
my mom has
she
to
got
go
to go to school.
And that's something very brilliant. Like the relationship that ladies or females have with their father is very important in their upbringing. And the influence that was just there. I remember Lady Norena, her father always told her, you have to play sport. Encouraged her, you can go and do sports. It's not a man's world for sport. You go out there, do it. And I remember Lowani's dad teaching them farm work and encouraging them.
Yeah.
And it's the great
and the importance of education in the Chiba-Sekunda family,
Yes.
starting from the patriarch himself, the first chief, and how he made sure everybody in the family, everybody was trained, everybody went to education, and how her father, the sacrifice the father made, and the grandfather made sure the father made that sacrifice to make sure all the girls and everybody went to school. That was brilliant. In spite of the big family, not one of them didn't go to school.
Yes.
I thought that was so. Talking about fathers, it wasn't just the father; it was the grandfather as well. I thought those were really, really
beautiful.
Beautiful.
And another thing that I picked up from Lowani is, you know how everybody says when you fall, get up, stand up, and Lowani says when you fall,
Get up
don't
and
get
run.
up and stand or walk, run. Because you failed, set the pace and continue going. And that for me is really encouraging, because most times you tell yourself, okay, I fail, and the process of getting up and getting there sometimes tends to be slow. But she says you were down, run, because you've lost time. And another thing that I learned from Lowani is, you know, she she says patience is important, but sometimes you don't have to be patient. You have, because it will teach you to pace yourself and know the exact time when something's going to happen in your life, because you'll be looking, say, I'm far behind, I need to work harder, I need to do more. And that for me just really stood out. I don't know about you.
It did stand out, and especially because she mentioned how that when you fall, you rise up. I think one of the things I've noticed in us women, most of the times you fall, you expect people to help you rise up. But there's moments and times where you have to pick yourself up. There's something, for something to happen, there's also something within you that will cause you to overcome whatever has happened. So that, I think, for me stood out quite loud. When it happens, have the courage within you to arise and begin again.
Yes.
Yeah.
I liked the talking about falling, where she talked about teaching herself to drive.
Yes.
And
That was
what happened,
beautiful.
and how her father did not talk about it.
For years.
Came back and said,
Why did you
Why
stop?
did you stop?
you know.
Yeah, that was brilliant, because I know if I took Pastor J's
And that
car
told her,
today-
okay, can you stop prophesying?
Don't go there. Leave it there.
Okay, so that really was awesome. And we have a couple of people that are watching from Facebook. We have Loveless Nyakanta And she says, awesome, thank you very much, Loveness. We're glad that you're watching. And the numbers are on the screen just in case you want to interact with us, you want to talk to us, you want to let us know what your highlight was from these beautiful three women that we've talked about. You can give us a phone call, you can write us a message. We want to hear you out.
We want to hear what, it would be nice to hear what people learned. So please, if you're at home, if you're on social media, we really have been so privileged to be allowed to walk in the space, in the life, to share the experiences of these leading women. What did you learn? What struck you? I know sometimes we're jovially talking about it, but try and play your mind back if you watched it and see what struck you the most, and please share. And I hope some of the women are listening so that they can learn also how you learned something from their lives and what inspired you. So please share with us what inspired you. And let's play a game here. Where'd you like to eat? Tell me somewhere you like to eat.
Mama's.
Where's that?
It's a place at Pinagomo.
Where'd you like to eat?
Madam Bean.
Where's that?
Levimore.
Levimore. They've closed it. It means you've not gone for a long time.
I've been for a few months, yeah.
You see? So give me another place you like to eat. We're giving out a gift tonight.
Oh.
So I'm throwing it out.
Can I be?
Hustle the paper. Paper. What did you say? Paper the hustle.
Hustle paper.
Hustle the paper. So hustle the paper today. We're giving out a gift today. We've done how many women? 9. Today is 9th women. The person, fastest fingers first. Okay, let's do fastest finger first. The person that gets us if you say the same thing on here, we are going to half your mark. So give us something that inspired you, and today you win dinner for 2. Hallelujah.
Yes.
How much is dinner for 2? About how much?
About 500.
You. So give no.
You win pizza.
Can you bring it down?
You win pizza.
Okay, dinner for 1 or 1.5.
Okay. Dinner for 1.5.
Give me something.
What's good, cause?
Okay.
So Kasongo is going to send you, if you win this, Kasongo is going to send you mobile money for that amount. I will give that amount. She'll send you mobile money for that amount. Can we do 250? Is that okay?
Yes, 250 is fine.
They can they can buy 2 pizzas or something, whatever, yes. And you can even eat with a family. That's 16 slices. So I'm buying pizza. So pizza night. It's Friday night, yeah?
Yes.
So pizza night, fastest fingers first. Send what inspired you. And these 2 women here will decide who wins. I'm not part of it. They will decide who wins. So fastest fingers first. Get to it. We want to see what inspired you. It's 8:29. You have 30 minutes to win pizza tonight, and you get the mobile money by the grace of God tonight. I don't know how she's going to do it. She'll probably work magic, but hey, okay. All right, so back to you, Ma.
Yes, I want us to play a video that Lady Norena actually spoke about. She says, in life, everything she does, she gives it 110%. And that for me blew me away, because there are a lot of times say, I'm giving it 100%. I'm giving it 100%. But there are times when you fall short on your 100% and you
and your 110%.
Yes, and you land in your 10. And on that note, we have a phone call. Hello? You're through to Lessons Learned. Who are we speaking to, and where are you watching us from? Both phones are ringing. Hello? Oh, we lost both phone calls. Oh. So please do call us back. We want to get your views, we want to hear you out. You might just win that pizza. I want you to win that pizza. So yeah, Lady Norena's message.
And by the way, you don't have to buy pizza. You can easily do anything you like.
Whatever you want to actually get.
I'm sure somebody just said, "Da."
So whatever it is that you want to buy, we're offering you a 250, courtesy of Pastor J, for your Friday night to spice it up. So please play us, Lady Norena. Give it 110%.
One of the things that I always say, when you're given an opportunity, give it 110%. If you're going to fall short at 10%, you're going to land at 100%. Give it 110%. That's what I've done all my life, is giving it 110%. Because In fact, just this, was it yesterday I was talking about, I shared a video with the Coopis girls. I said, always remember that whatever you do, whether good or bad, there's always someone watching.
Yes.
And that's what happened, what happened to me in my life, because it is out of working at Image Promotions that I got my first job in the banking sector. Because African Banking Corporation, when they came into Zambia,
Yes.
they were one of our clients because we're into event management. So they said, well, wait a minute, she seems to be on top of the game. Are you able to cross over into the banking sector? So that's how I moved into.
So not because of accounting, because of your skill.
It was because of my
Excellence.
skill. Yes, it was. I think accounting came at the bottom, but it was the way I was able to handle the client, and because it was going to be, the role was client liaison officer in investment services. That's how I switched to the banking sector.
So that was Lady Norena, and she was saying anything you do, give it 110%. Give it your all. You might fall short, but you always have something to land on. And when that happens, I think you have this form or this greatness that you put in your best and you put in extra. So it won't even feel like you failed.
But the beautiful thing, I think what people should hear from that is the person going to change your life is around you.
Yeah.
So that what you do, she's talking about how she worked and people noticed her work.
Exactly.
And the people that noticed her work went on to create opportunities for her because of the quality of her work, because she has lived by a principle that whatever you do, basically saying give it your utmost best. And one of the things she has lived by is excellence. Therefore, what she's saying and what I think people should get is this: you never know who is around you that will change your life. So don't say, today I'm off, today I'm tired, today let me rest. Because that person around you may be the person to open the rest of your life.
Exactly.
So when you do your best every time, it's like you're dropping your business card.
Yeah.
Yes.
And people
I like
will
that.
remember you and say, when they need something, they will come to you and say, that's the person, because we liked her work.
We have a couple of messages, pretty funny. This one says, okay, we are watching now.
I like
So
that.
thank you very much. Let us know, fastest fingers first, let us know what you learned from the women. And this other one says courage and determination. Thank you very much for that message. We have
For courage and determination, what? Give us more than courage and determination.
determination.
That means explain it.
Exactly.
What inspired you? Please
Yes.
go on.
So we have a phone call. Hello. Good evening. Hello. Hello, you're through to Lessons Learned from Leading Ladies. Who are we speaking to and where are you watching us from? Okay, so we do advise that when you do call, please reduce the volume on your TV set so that we're able to hear you. And we want to interact with you. We want to hear you out. So reduce the volume on your TV set. Thank you very much. So I'm glad that you are watching and you're calling. So if you were that particular caller, please do call us back. Want to get your views and want to hear you out. So going back to what we were talking about.
I think we should take, I don't know, I know we've talked about it, but so that other people take it, I know we have watched and we have internalized it. But going back to what Loani said, several things she said I thought is good for us to learn. And she basically epitomized it. Persistence.
Yes.
People give up too quickly.
That's right.
People, somebody tries something, stop. Her life is evidence of persistence and continuous hard work. 21 years. And today she's on top of the ladder. The first black Zambian woman, that is super.
Yes.
But you see, it came through persistence. It came
Exactly.
through giving it. And one of the things I liked about Loani was you could see her appreciation to her organization.
Yes.
Spoke a lot of loyalty to me and humility.
Yes.
Such humility. She's so well read. If you are that in Citibank, you must be very good, I believe, because that's a very professional, excellent environment.
And the ethic there is
The
just
ethics are super. And she has climbed, and she's telling you, I think women need to pay attention to that, particularly the younger ones coming up. Persistence. Don't give up. I remember, who was saying grit.
Yes.
That will come when we start looking at leadership. Grit. So people need to be very persistent and determined. Pay the price. It will pay off.
Yes.
I think that's important.
That was a really great highlight.
Exactly.
We have a message here. It says, I'm Justin Muyongo, watching you from Zambezi. Thank you very much, Mr. Justin. We're glad that you're watching. I hope you're getting. Do you want to win that 250 kwacha? First is fingers first. What are you learning from these women? What's your highlight? Let us know. Our phone lines are still opened. You can text us, you can message us, and we can keep interacting. And another thing that I did get from Lowani is, it has been done. She said this in her exact same words. Like, women, it has been done, it continues to be done, but it should not stop here. And it's like she's literally passing on the baton, and she's saying we should keep pacing we want another MD for Citibank.
Yes.
You can do better than that. You can sit at World Bank.
Exactly.
We should keep the pace going, and that shows to me that there's somebody actually looking out for us, actually, and thinking we should keep it going. We should keep the pace running. Yeah, and I'm hoping that Andrew can just play that clip for us even as we talk about it.
Have I shown great loyalty to
Which is rare
institution?
today.
Which is
very
rare, but I hope as well, in terms of me having this conversation, it will be an inspiration, especially to our millennials,
Yes.
that persistence, determination, and focus does pay. And for as long as one is able to see and be focused on where they want to head to, live the life.
Okay.
Put in the hard work, because it will pay for. I mean, it will show its results, and it's really just a matter of time. I've been privileged in my city career, as you mentioned earlier, to have out of Zambia experience.
Yes.
But again, that's not something that just didn't land on my plate. No, it was also a question of me raising my hand to it.
Okay.
So she was talking about persistence and continuing.
I think he heard me more than he did.
I know Andrew heard Pastor. He's being biased. I don't know why you're doing this to me. We had a phone call. Please do call us back. We want to hear you out. We have a message here, and it says, "What is the show all about? Please pardon my question and behavior." This is from Shadbrick.
I'm so happy the men are watching.
Yes. So, Mr. Shadbrick, I hope I'm reading your name right. This show is called Lessons Learned from Leading Ladies, because we had a show here on CBC television which we were calling by the Lead Africa Women's Institute, which was Scars to Stars, and we were profiling different women in different sectors within Zambia that are just making it and have paved the way for different young ladies like myself. You know, that's it. And have just done awesome stuff. So we are talking about these women and what lessons that we actually got from them. So we're just interacting on that. I'm going to just roll it a bit and take it back to you, Clara. What was your other lesson?
Clara has been quiet. Why?
You
want the pizza?
I'm actually contemplating. Should I send the text?
Send the text.
Okay. I got a few quotes actually from Lowani Chiwesakonda. This one says, "Do not forget where you came from. There will never be the best time for the perfect time for when something that should happen. You always have to put something into perspective, and there's never a perfect time.
Yeah.
And whatever you do, showcase yourself, because somebody's always watching."
Yeah.
So that
was big. Huh?
Exactly. That was big. That was big. Given an opportunity, grab it with everything inside of you, because there's always somebody watching. There's always something happening, and it doesn't have to be the perfect time.
Yeah.
So that for me just hit me home. It doesn't have to be the perfect time.
There's never a perfect time.
Exactly.
Actually.
So there's no preparation. The best preparation is just doing it. Everything that will happen. And she said, when you showcase it and just step into it, everything else will unfold. But showcase what you have, your capability, and that just hit me home.
Awesome.
Yeah.
And we have two messages here. This one says, "I have learned persistence, determination, and focus is cardinal in order for us to be better." And Unfortunately,
like
this
that.
person has not given us their name. So
Well,
I would
you have
like
the
to
number,
get-
you have the phone
We have the
number.
number, but I would like
That's
to get
cool.
their name. So please text me your name. I would like to know. That's a great one. And we have another one. This one says, "Good evening, ladies and pastor. This is a very good program for us, and very important thing is to focus, hard work, and resistance." Thank you very much for that message, and we're glad that you are watching. I would really want to know who you are, so please text your name. I would really like that.
And where are you watching from?
And where you are watching us from, like Mr. Justin from Zambezi.
What did you guys get on? You're talking about Connie. Connie for me was one of our best.
Yes.
Her spirit, in fact, everyone was one of our best for me, to be honest. So if you hear me say it every day, don't mind me. I'm just reliving it, and I'm just relearning from them. What did we learn from Connie? Connie gave us Dr. Connie Osborne. She gave us such real life experience. She really let us into her story, you know. I loved her story of her the day she said she was going to deal with her senior sister and the senior sister beat her and beat her friend. That was super, you know. What did you guys get from Dr. Connie?
The one that stood out for me the most from Dr. Connie was when she said, "You don't have to be female or male to succeed.
That was brilliant.
Everybody can get the opportunity to be up there." And we have a couple of our phones are buzzing. We are going to take your phone call, but that's what she said. She said, "You don't have to be male or female to succeed. Everybody can get to the top." And she, in her exact words, she says, "Anybody can get to where I am today."
Yeah.
And it's not about you being female or male.
Exactly.
You can do it. And that for me blew it out of the park, because we've been talking about women, and sometimes men are feeling like, oh, maybe it's for the women and whatnot, but you can make it and you can get there. On that note, we have a phone call which I'm going to take just now. Hello, you're through to Lessons Learned from Leading Ladies. Where are you watching us from, and what's your name? Hello. Bueno Mulibwanji. Mutamba Lessons Learned from Leading Ladies. Message yanu or contribution yanu ni mwingati uzeko. I hope I'm speaking the right Nyanja. I think this person wants to speak to Pastor. Ndine Kasongo, tipa TV pano, ngati mufuna ochitako contribute padi topic ya menti kamba hapo. Okay.
You're intimidating them.
I'm trying to
Okay.
speak Nyanja.
Maybe you should ask for text,
Yes.
so that it doesn't take too much of your time.
Yes. So we ask that you text us so that we can know. And we have another message. This one's from Mrs. Chilwa, and she says, "I'm watching you from Lusaka, Makeni." Thank you very much for watching, Mrs. Chilwa.
Thank you,
We're
Mrs.
glad
Chilwa.
that you are watching. And another thing that I picked up from Connie really was her ethic and her experience in her field. You can see that she has mastered her craft, and she continues to go.
She has done so well.
She has done
And
very
you
well.
see, you look at where they started from, coming together to set up an organization to research. They were very worried, why are people dying? And they went to research and to check the blood and to do all that. And she ends up becoming the head of National Aid Council. I thought that was, she had sown, she had served, and ultimately God and life brings her back to be so relevant to our nation. She served externally, she's risen to the top, she's done such great job, technical work. Now she's coming here to bring all that. I really enjoyed that about Dr. Connie.
Exactly.
Yeah.
And to that, she did allude to the fact that as you are saving and as you are leading, leadership roles, other leadership roles just open.
Yeah.
So that was
That's true.
Yeah.
Yes, and we have a message on Facebook. We have a couple of messages on Facebook. This one reads, "Who is going to dinner alone?" Pastor. Nobody's going to dinner.
I don't know, I go alone, that's why I'm guilty, I confess my sins.
And we have another message from Precious Mutapa, and this one says, "Thank you, Pastor Jolomi. Thank you, ladies. These ladies, wow, giving it 110%. You don't become great in future until you become great with a little and where you are. Extra efforts and extra blessings, going to extra mile and extra touch, with which leaves a mark in people's lives about you." Thank you very much, Precious, for that message. And we're
You
glad
should
that
be
you are watching.
profiling Precious. It's just Powerful.
She's just awesome. She's just powerful. And another thing that I picked up from Connie was very emotional for me was the fact that she was the head of the HIV pandemic, and during that time she was always working and saving other people. Her brother died from HIV, and she was really open.
It broke her. She says, till now, I still have the medicine.
And that for me was really heartbreaking. That shows passion, really. If your own blood died from that and you keep helping people, it just shows a lot of passion for what she does.
And leadership at large.
Yeah, big leadership. That's a lot. That speaks a lot. And I just think she was really brilliant. And I hope that we can watch it again, because you can have access to this on Facebook, on YouTube. Go check it out, watch it again. There's so many life lessons. One of the biggest things for today's girl, she kept repeating that, is wait. Learn to wait.
Exactly.
Don't rush into sex. Don't rush into this relationship thing. She kept saying it throughout. I don't know if you guys got that.
Yes.
And it's saying, look, prioritize your life. That's what she was saying.
Exactly.
Put first things first. You will get this if you want it the rest of your life. She literally was saying that.
Yes.
Again, maybe because she works in the national that space. But I think it was coming from her life and how her priority in education and going on to be that beautiful doctor she is and going on to do the work she did, having international recognition. She knows the value of education to a woman. And she says, look, wait, just wait, learn to wait, it will come, learn to wait. That is a message I think we should not forget. We should continue echoing
Now
and
your
saying, learn
prize
to
is
wait.
causing a lot of spark.
Let it spark.
So unfortunately we're not going to be taking phone calls. We will be taking messages. So number 81 at the end, I see your phone call, but please write me a message because it's fast fingers first.
Yes.
So your message will count.
Fastest, not just fast.
Fastest fingers first. So your contribution will count more if you write a message. So we have a couple of messages which I'm going to get to. This one says, I'm Karen from
I hope you
Doha.
guys, because before we finish, you have to say who won.
Yes.
So please note those things. You have to
I'm
know
taking
who won.
note. This one says, I'm Karen from Ndola. I'm really enjoying. That's true. We should be honest and determined for us to be successful. And we have another message here. This one says, patience pays, but sometimes you got to go for it.
Yeah.
To trust and believe in ourselves, no matter how things may be. We can achieve our goals by never giving up. And this one is from Mercy. Mercy, thank you very much. I think Pastor has been giving you a stand.
I'm giving all of them. I'm giving all of them. They've been, you see Mercy, you see Precious, you see the other one. It's been really...
Yes, and we have another one. This one says, ladies are good inspiration to every individual because at least each and everyone has a woman's environment, was once in women's government. I personally most learn from these ladies. This one is Prince Franco Mudenda, watching you from Livingston.
You should win it. That's a man. I agree. Because a man is learning. That's what he said, isn't it?
Yes, and this particular...
But I don't vote. I don't have a vote. So you guys are the one.
We are going to decide.
But you can't rig the vote.
This one says, enjoying the show. Set your minds. These two. Me was food for soul. Thank you very much. Set your minds, this person says. Thank you very much. We're glad that you're watching. We have another message. Oh, we have so many messages. This one says, I'm enjoying the program. This is Ivor from Kawe Town. Thank you very much for that message. We do have another one. This one says, patience, never to give up, focus now where you are and where you are and where you are going. Determination.
Brilliant.
Determination, have the drive. I have learned that I have what it takes to lead as a lady and should not always look to others to make it or rise when I fall. This is Betty watching us from Chingola.
You see, if pastors could dance, I'll be dancing now, I'm telling you. That was so beautiful.
That was good, Betty.
That was so beautiful. I love that.
Yes. So
and you have, please don't forget, you have 10 minutes.
10 minutes.
So
I'm trying to
have we talked about all we have to do about Lady Lorena? Have you exhausted everything from Lady Lorena?
I don't know. What is your other highlight?
While you take our calls, because somebody has to win your...
Somebody keeps calling. So it's fastest fingers first. So we are not taking phone calls. We are taking messages. So please try and type your message as fast as possible. So
and somebody has to be the winner
To be
today.
the winner.
Clara, you were saying.
Yes, I was saying about Lady Narena. She mentioned how that people are people, but as you lead them, you know that people are diverse.
Good.
Lead them in their diversity.
Brilliant.
And also, don't lead them to be like you.
Yeah.
Lead them to be like them in
Yeah.
their lane, in their
Yeah.
diversity.
Yeah.
That really struck me.
And I like where she brought out also that a lot of times we assume,
Exactly.
and that people that need help sometimes, because in Hakupe's experience,
Yes.
how several people you would think they don't have a problem because you think they're
yeah.
coming from well-to-do homes.
Exactly.
They come and you hear their stories, and she says that's when you realize everybody needs that help. So that's talking about leading in diversity, and she's
Exactly.
doing it.
She's doing
And
it.
it's so amazing that she could have been having the best jobs.
Yes.
You know, to her is a calling as well. She stepped out because she felt God was telling her do that is a calling. But she could have been doing her jobs, high profile jobs, making big money, but she steps out of that space and she's just mentoring and shaping the lives of young girls. That is fantastic.
It is.
Every girl, normally in Africa, you're having like 1 to 4 children in a home. That means if you've reached 1,600, can you imagine how many people in generations one woman would have helped to shape destinies?
Exactly.
You know, just one person.
Yeah.
What a woman can do to a nation.
Yes.
That's
And on that note, I'm going to read my last messages. My last 2 because of time, but we have more than that. This one says, I'm watching from Chingola, learned hard work, determination, and self-discipline. This is Mwanza RM. And this one says, thank you very much. I'm enjoying the show. I hope my sister will learn something. And this is Shadrick from Lusaka, Chilenje. I hope your sister is watching, Shadrick, and I hope she will learn something, just like you have said. Now, as we are trying to get to the winner, I remember Pastor clearly said that if you say something that has already been said, we reduce your mark. So I'm not going to be biased, but I think somebody spoke something that nobody else spoke about. And this is Messi. Her message was genuine. It was different. You could tell that she was really just giving from what she has heard, and everybody talked about determination, persistence, and those are the messages we kept having. But she spoke genuinely from her heart and from what she's learned. And I just feel I'm not being
But
bad.
Precious spoke genuinely from her
And
heart.
Betty as well.
So you only have one vote.
The score is
Debate.
tie.
Okay, we have to decide. Okay, so we have a panelist, 3 people.
No, I'm not part of the voting. Both of you and Musonda can contribute.
Okay,
Even though Musonda is the silent partner vote.
So what we're going to do on that particular note, we're going to take one more video, and when we come back, we'll announce the winner. So please, Andrew, can you play us a video from Loani Chibesakunda when she says, it has been done, it will be done, and please, it should not stop now. Because you didn't give you good pastor. So please give us this one as we wrap it up.
So you can imagine the how passionate she was on
About
making
education.
sure, yes, that she was able to pass on that teaching as well, and that emphasis on education to her children and even just those around her. Then my father as well, with his background and the emphasis that his father had where education was concerned, made sure, and he would always preach to us, that where you can, help one another.
Yes.
Don't just think of uplifting yourself. It's a question of uplifting even those around you, because you are the one as well who gets to see the benefit of it,
That's right.
it all. And that I've carried with me even into my life today, because it's not just about me being successful.
Yes.
It's about us.
Yes.
Us as a city team, us as an entire family, etc. So yeah, that's what education can do for you.
Thank you very much for watching, and thank you very much for all the messages that are coming through. We really appreciate you, and we appreciate that you are learning something from these beautiful women that we profiled as the Lead Africa Women's Institute. Drum roll for the winner of today's 250 kwacha. We have so many messages, it's almost blowing us away.
But did you agree, or you are doing unilateral decision?
I don't know what we're gonna do. So many. Okay, we was not about a tie. Maybe you should have given out the 500.
So if you gave a 500 to, so 500, 250 each.
250 each.
Because there's a tie, like the serious one. Yeah.
Serious tie. Okay.
It's not my choice, it's your choice.
We should take another video if we're going to decide. So please, Andrew, give us something from Dr. Connie Osborne as we decide.
Who is around you and how are they behaving? Because you absorb all that. There's always this question that leaders are born. I don't think so. I think that they're not born. Everybody is born with the potential to be a leader, regardless of whether you are a girl child or you are a boy child. Everybody is born equal and with the equal potential. You're born with the potential, but that potential has to be nurtured. Even when you do become a leader, because especially with women, there will always be people trying to pull you down. Whether it's men or it's women, there will always be resentment, envy, and it will not be obvious, it's subtle. But you have to be strong enough to recognize it. Where you carry yourself, even as a girl child, the things you do, people watch you. When I was young, you don't just become a monitor in a class. The head teacher does not say you are a monitor, or you don't just become a captain or of a foot or netball, whatever, or you don't just become the leader of the debating team. You are chosen. People watch you and they see what you're doing. So there is that working hard. There is that focusing in terms of what it is that you want to become. Even when you're a child, you watch TV. Who do you see? What programs are you watching on TV? What are you watching? What are you reading? Who is around you and how are they behaving? Because you absorb all that.
So welcome back. After much deliberation, after a lot of discussion, after going through all the messages that we, as judges, I feel like I'm a judge. Anyway, we have come up with a tie. Two people really spoke passionately in the messages, and they gave us their highlights, and they were very authentic, except because we kept talking about persistence, determination. So a lot of people got that, but these two people really stood out. So our winners for tonight are Messi and Betty. So we are glad that Messi and Betty, if you're watching, do send us your mobile money numbers and we'll be able to transfer that money. However, if we do not transfer that money tonight, we will be able to do it for you tomorrow morning. But tomorrow, the rules will change a bit. When you send in your messages, you have to be very specific on which quotes that you did decide or pick on for that particular day. So thank you very much to everybody who has been watching. Thank you to everybody who we've been co-hosting with. Thank you very much, Pastor Jay. Thank you very much, Clara, for being on this set tonight. And thank you very much to everybody who's been watching on Facebook, on YouTube, and on this particular platform, which is CBC Television. We're really happy that you're watching, and we're glad that you're learning something. So as we wrap it up tonight, I just want to say, tomorrow we'll be profiling 3 very beautiful women. And Andrew will be able to project them on the screen. We have Prophetess Elfrida Musambazi, who is the General Overseer of Barak Ministries. We also have Mwangala Muyoyeta, who is the head of IT at Zambia Industrial Commercial Bank.
Sarita.
We have Sarita Mlongoti, who is the managing director of Unilever. So we have these 3 very beautiful women we will be profiling tomorrow. So to get a head start,
you will be reviewing what you learned.
We will be reviewing what we learned or picking our highlights from these very beautiful women tomorrow. So to give you a head start, you can go and watch these videos in advance. Actually, you can go and watch them in advance and pick out your highlights and contribute when we start tomorrow's program. But for today, we want to say a very big good night and thank you very much to everybody for watching. Thank you.
Good night, everybody.
Good night.
Thank you for joining us.